Hello, everyone. How you guys doing tonight, today, wherever you're from in this beautiful, beautiful world? Well, we have 4 awesome people here, 3 awesome people, and I'm not awesome. We've got Bumpy Road Brewery, we got Miscellaneous Magnets, and we got Mittelfruh, known also as AKA Paul.
Hi.
Hello. Cheers, everyone. Cheers, and welcome, and thank you for being here. Another Beer and Cheese Tuesday. So I'm glad you guys are here. Thank you so much.
Sure.
We're gonna start with Tuesday. Oh shit, that's me.
Don't feel bad. I just had the same thing going on.
Oh, it's mine.
We were just talking about that. All right, so there was a couple others that had mentioned they want to pop up. So if you're there still, John and Ilya, I'm just calling you out. No, if you're there, I'll send the link up and we'll just put it in the chat. But keep in mind that you have to have beer and cheese if you're going to come up. I usually don't like to do open ones, but I'm going to, for this case, I will, since I know they said they wanted to be here. So right on. We'll start with Bumpy, and we'll just go clockwise, and we'll end up with me, and then we'll do the scores after. A lot like Bumpy stuff. So, yeah, cool. Let's start. Right on. Right. Bumpy's got a nice surprise, too, by the way. He didn't want to tell us anything.
I have what is probably the most hyped beer right now. Now, this is a beer that is super easy to get. Nobody wants to pick it up. I have COVID-19 Extra.
Oh, shit. Sorry.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pair this with Miscellaneous. Has already done this cheese before. I've never had it myself. So I picked up the Boar's Head Cream Havarti with dill. And it says it's a dill wheat is added early in the make process to infuse flavor throughout the cheese. I pre-opened this one because I always end up struggling with getting it out of the package. So now I can just plop this on a plate and we'll be good. That's a big hunk of cheese. All right, let's try this COVID-19. So I'm just going to drink it through the bottle because it is clear. It's a very straw-colored clear beer. The aromas, a lot of crackered bread type malt notes. There's amazingly no skunkiness. I know a lot of times with clear bottles and cervezas, you can pick up on some skunk notes. This one seems to have been treated nicely, or maybe it just stayed on the shelf so long that the skunkiness that would have appeared in there went away. No hop presence in the aromas. So going for the first swig. Cheers. So it's, once again, a very malt forward lager. It is crackery, a little bit of like what I consider like a cardboard type note in there. There's a slight hint of bitterness with it, and it's kind of on the like citrusy side. It's not like a citrus like you'd get out of like an IPA, but it's still kind of on that citrusy side. I think that's why play on words. It's really not a bad brew. It's easy to just kick back and guzzle down. Try it with some of this cheese here. Hunk to my nose. Beautiful cheese. See all the little dill throughout it. Dill weed, I guess. Well, it has the smell of dill, picking that up. And Can't describe the actual cheese smell itself. It's not super strong, but doesn't have any bad like foot odor type smells to it. So winning. Very creamy. Nice texture to this. It's almost like those Baby Bells with the texture. The cheese flavor itself, I think, without the dill, be very good still. It does remind me of the Baby Bell cheese. I'm not even sure what kind of cheese that is, but you do pick up on a little bit of the dill in the flavor afterwards. It's nice. Let's see if that goes with the COVID-19. So they do go together quite nicely. COVID-19 and a nice creamy Havarti cheese. Kind of gives you that nice feeling of you're going to have a flumminess start up. So they pair well together. I'm gonna get some more of this. I saw a different kind on the shelf, so I'm not going to get it next week, but I will get more of this type of cheese in the future. As far as the COVID-19, I think I'll leave that alone for a while. But
Yeah.
Oh, he's got the mask on.
What a surprise! You got the. Oh man.
Yeah, that
cool.
cheese is good though, man. It's like nice and creamy and rich.
Just
I like dill Havarti, man. Without beer.
And neither one of these, they're very, for what they are, they're very like kind of on the lower threshold of flavor. So I think, yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Pair very well together.
Nice.
Awesome.
Well, let me do a real quick shout to everyone that just came in. We got Lucia, Backseat, Psycho Ducky, Kenty, Drunken Rampage. Man, welcome. Okay, Arizona Tourist is here. What's up?
The
Thanks for being
Eclectic
here,
Beard,
guys.
man.
Eclectic Beard. What's up, man? All right. Thanks for being here, guys. All right. Miscellaneous. It's your turn.
Paul's tripping me out.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So what I have here is another Collective Arts. Got it from my buddy at the bottle shop. As most of you guys know, if you've been tuning in, I live in Florida. I'm on the East Coast. It's called the Treasure Coast. So my buddy said that there was only 4 cases of this beer distributed on the Treasure Coast, which is probably about 6 counties. He got 1 case. So it's very, very exclusive. Name of this beer is Pica Fluorescence. It's a DIPA with Citra and Nelson Sauvignon. Sauvin? I don't know. Pronounce that shit right. Anyways, it's out of Milwaukee because Collective Arts has actually opened a brewery in Milwaukee, and it's a collaboration with a Berlin company out of Germany. Could not find any IPUs on this. Did not get a lot of information. Went on Beer Advocate, all of that. The APV is at 1.8%. So let's go ahead and crack this open. I've been looking forward to this. I've had this beer for about a week, and I was saving it to show off for you guys. So here we go. Got a pretty good head to it. Very small, tight bubbles. Almost has a soapy look. Doesn't have a lot of large in there. It is hazy. Just a bit, not too bad. It has a nice color. It looks like orange juice on the screen. Almost mimosa-like. Let's go for the smell. I'm getting oranges. A lot of tropical fruit smell out of this. It doesn't smell real hoppy on the nose. Let's go ahead and taste it. This is it's a full body beer, very rich in flavor, man. I'm getting like peaches, definitely orange. Very good. Almost some passion fruit notes are coming out of it. For my cheese though, I did I got some spicy cheese. I went with a three different pepper Colby Jack from Boar's Head. Hard to see it, but yeah, there's all kinds of pepper flakes in there. I've heard that the spicy goes really well with these IPAs, so. Cheese is really good. It's got a nice little kick, not overbearingly spicy. Nice and mellow. I'm actually very happy with this cheese. So, get some more of that. All right, so with the cheese, it still tastes like a very great IPA. Tastes awesome. The spiciness did dull the taste of the fruits down. It's still there, but it's actually really good because you get the little heat and then you get the sweet fruity IPA, nice and refreshing. Balances out very well. I like it. Nobody's done a spicy cheese, but man, this works beautiful together. It's very nice. Cheese is creamy, nice and rich, works well with the beer. That's about all I could say about that, man. It's Johnny on the spot, what I expected it to be.
Perfect. All right, man. Well, thank you, Miscellaneous.
Yeah, sounds good.
Let's go to Paul.
Bumpy likes the cheese.
You like the cheese?
Yeah, I like the pepper jack cheese and stuff like that. So I haven't seen a spiced Colby before. So
Oh yeah, the spicy though with the IPA, that sounds perfect.
Yeah,
That sounds absolutely perfect. Cool. Well, shoot, man. Let's go to Paul here. If you're ready.
Oh,
Man
yes.
with the mask.
Yeah. So everything I've read, have no idea how I can contract this COVID-19. I've even heard I can get it through a webcam virus. So I'm not going to take any chances. Anyhow, I kid. Anyhow, there you go. I have a Scotch ale from Hanover, Ontario, which is a small town in southern Ontario, about 2 hours northwest of Toronto. It's the first time I've ever seen this Scotch ale, and some of my friends that aren't into beer like I am think, well, there has to be Scotch in it, and there isn't. It's just because it's a derivation of a style that came from Scotland, so it's called a Scotch ale. Anyhow, I'm just going to pour it. I like to try beers in a wine Bordeaux glass. It's about 8 ounces or so, because I find with the thin glass, it helps warm the beer up a bit faster, because I like a lot of my beers, well, relatively warm, say 50, 55 Fahrenheit. I don't know how well you can see it in my light here. It's kind of a brownish, I'd say, mahogany. I guess I should show you the can art too. It's called McLean's Armchair Scotch Ale. Now, at first, I thought they had an old chair there because some of those old chairs, I guess, had mahogany leather on them. But doing some reading, the town of Hanover, Ontario, there was a lot of German and other European settlers there in the late 1800s, early 1900s. And the German people were real good craftsmen. So the town of Hanover had 2 large furniture factories that have since closed, I guess, in the early 1970s. So I think that this is an homage to the first industry in Hanover. Anyhow, back to the beer. As I said, kind of a coppery, maybe dark orange. Let me see. A hint of toffee. Not too much aroma. Some sweetness. I'm getting a bit of caramel. I'm not sure how this beer was brewed, because I understand in the olden days they would boil down the beer for hours and hours, and that would add to the caramel taste. But I think nowadays the cost involved of heating large vats of beer and boiling it for hours and hours, I have a feeling a lot of breweries don't do that anymore. So with the modern malts and crystal malts and dark malts, I think they add that instead. I can see, it's hard to tell in this light, but there's very fine particles in it. I don't know if it's yeast or what it is. What else can I say about it? It's the alcohol is 7.5%. It's hidden fairly well. I'm not getting any warming from the alcohol. I think I'm getting a hint of either dark plum or raisin. Very low bitterness, because I think these Scotch ales, they don't usually have too much bitterness. So I'm guessing, the can doesn't tell me, but I'm guessing maybe about 15 or so IBUs, give or take. As a home brewer, I think I might be tasting a bit of Belgian. It's called Belgian Special B, but I don't know if there'd be any of that in this, but it sort of has that plum raisin taste. Isn't that much carbonation, but I think that's inherent in this style of ale. The carbonation isn't supposed to last. It tastes carbonated. It's just the head dissipates fairly quickly. With my Scotch ale, I thought, I've heard that some examples of Scotch ale have a slight smoke taste to them, which usually isn't apparent in most examples of it. Some people seem to think there's always peat malt in it, which they're the true versions of the Scotch ales, wee heavies, 70, 80, 90 shilling. They aren't supposed to have any peat malt in it. Some people think that there's supposed to be a bit of smoke character in it, but that isn't normally inherent in it. The cheese I have with it, on that note, is a smoked cheese. It's a Costco special from up here in Canada, but it's from a cheese house just outside of my hometown, and it's called Balderson Year-Old Double Smoked Hard Cheddar. So I thought the smokiness of this would go good with the Scotch ale. Let me see here. Actually, it does, but I'm not that fussy. I can find that I can match cheese with any beer style. So, okay, one more sip. Actually, the slight creaminess of the cheese does bring out the maltiness of the beer, I think. Okay, I think I'm done for now.
Man, that's awesome. Beer man, you're muted.
Thanks.
Yeah. I like how you went from talking about the not so often smokiness in the Scotch ales to going into that's why I brought a smoked cheese.
Yeah.
Nice leeway there.
Yeah.
Man, that beer looks freaking great, man.
Pretty nice. Yeah.
It's real nice.
I haven't dipped my toes in too much to the Scotch ales. I've had a few. I've been eyeballing a few of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I had what did I have? I had Oscar Blues, the old chub, and you know what? I didn't know what I was getting into at the time. This is when I was doing my first transition over, and it tasted like a Boilermaker to me. And
Okay.
you know, I'm not opposed to that. I like Boilermakers. I mean, it was good, man. Those wee heavies, different style for sure.
You mentioned Special B too, with the raisin and stuff like that. I remember when I was brewing the Scotch, is like there a lot of times when I put the Special B in, as part of the grain bill, or maybe a slight pinch of peat. You know, that stuff's so strong. You know, it's so strong. But it really, I mean, that's what you're expecting in a Scotch ale or a Scottish type ale. And a lot of times you just get this malty, like the one I had last night on Bumpy's. It was so malty compared to that raisiny kind of taste, you know.
Okay.
So,
Also, too, the can art won't come up on here. It's got too much white in it. But this beer was brewed on or can 2520. So this is very fresh beer.
I don't know how old mine is. You know, it doesn't tell me on the can.
I got to go back to the store and holler at my buddy, man. I don't know what he paid for that. I'm sure it's cost a nice penny.
How was the Corona?
Yeah, this I think they're talking that this started back in like November time in China was when this was first.
Yeah.
I don't like Corona, man.
That's awesome. I'm glad you brought that.
Regardless of the virus. What do you got, beer man?
Okay. Well, I got something here. Let's see. Welcome. Hello. So I got one from Culmination Brewing. They're out of Portland, Oregon, another local one to me.
Yeah.
It was canned on 1/10/20. So, 2 months or so old. It's called Time Moves Slow, and it's a breakfast stout, definitely imperial, 9.5%. Comes in a 16 can. It's with cocoa, coconut, and almond. Yeah, these guys are straight in Portland, about an hour from me. Yeah, so 9.5. I'm gonna serve it. I'm gonna put it in the little glass here, because the rest of this will go to my wife. I don't want to have. I just want to taste her.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and open this up. 9.5. I didn't get any IBUs. Trying to do a straight pour so I can get some head. That's insane. All right. So we didn't clean the glass very well. It's really bad. Almost a finger head. Retention seems to go down pretty quick here. It's a little stronger of a beer, Let's go ahead and smell it. We'll go over there. Wow, the cocoa. It's nutty and cocoa. It's crazy. What does this have again? What did I say? Cocoa, coconut, and almond. Yeah, there's a hardcore coconut, hardcore cocoa, and there's a hardcore like nuttiness. I don't really get like almond. I just get kind of like a nutty. The chocolate and the coconut really comes out really well in this. We got maybe a tan colored head, let's say. Legs are already starting to form on the sides. It's a dark brown is what it appears to be. I can't see through it. It's opaque. Probably a medium to fast rising bubble, actually. Let's drink it. Oh my God, man. That's so rich. That's like super complex. A lot of different things going on. It's very smooth and creamy all around the mouth. Very smooth, creamy mouthfeel. The body is very full body, very rich. Might even be pushing like the nice robustness of it. It's very awesome. It's very thick and just resinous and thick around the mouth. Very oily. There's no booziness really. It's just kind of just goes back, kind of a dangerous, smooth roll all the way into the back of the throat. Starts to dry back right at the back of the kind of as it falls down. You're getting a nice full flavor out of this. Coconut really comes through the chocolate. Coconut surrounds the whole mouth. That chocolate, deep, dark, rich chocolate comes through. Almonds. Maybe a sweet nuttiness is what I get out of this, but not much. There is a slight nuttiness and a roasted quality to this, a roasted malty, dark, rich quality to this. It's very nice. I love this. Would be great morning beer. Oh my God. Hair of the dog. Just have this in the morning, you're straight. Let's have some, I got some blue cheese. I went with blue cheese again. The second take on this. The first one, it didn't come out very well with the beer I chose. I think I did an IPA, and I don't know why it didn't taste good.
Then you do a Hellas?
Hellas, yeah. What a Hellas with that? No, pungent cheese, very pungent. Oh my God. I got this last week. I don't know. It's aged since, well, about a week, but I don't know how long it's aged before that. It was very pungent, though. Very salty, very moldy. Oh. Kind of a peaty, like, with the sweet beer, it really works well, but you get that moldy kind of ness in the back of the throat that really doesn't go well. That moldiness is what gets me. The salty, though, is really good with this. That salt and sweet and salty. That's pretty good. That mold, though. I don't like that so much. Yeah. Well, not bad. Not super happy, but other than the mold part, it actually went well. I just we'll see what I score in a little bit. I'm done. I'm done. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
All right. Well, cool, man. So you're eating that cheese. You are pounding that cheese down, Bumpy. Right on.
The Dill
I
Party's good
did cut
shit.
a couple little slices because this cheese is really good. This is the last of it for me.
Nice.
I did cut a little two little hunks off for my dogs because I gotta see if they like it.
It's dog approved. That's the
Dog approved.
we gotta
Definitely
know.
Bumpy approved.
Wow, that's it really sticks you in the back with that mold.
That's the thing about the blue cheese, man. You can get a mild one, or you can get one that's like pow, and it's
Punchy.
all over taste buds.
Right. The beer was good. Yeah.
This actually goes well. I got drinking double cannon, double IPA from Heavy Seas.
Bumpy's
This actually
double
goes well with
dipping.
this too.
Can we do that? You guys got more beer?
Oh, we can if you want. I mean, we can do a double take if you'd like to. I have other beers. Well, they're in the fridge. I gotta go get one.
I just needed to drink
This guy's
something else.
showing off over here.
Yeah, it's very malt forward beer, and even though this is a lighter cheese, it still goes very well.
Nice. What's that one you changed or that you're drinking on in the other?
The purple can.
Double IPA. Nice. All right.
Double IPA.
My Heavy Seas there.
And you
That
like that
one's
cheese?
rowdy.
With that?
It goes well. I think it does go better with the Corona because it is very light. You said like the dill note and stuff. So this is a double IPA, but it's more malt forward. So the maltiness still goes well with the cheese. Like I can still taste the cheese, but I think it's cutting it away at the dill that's in here.
Oh, okay. All right. Nice. Well, what did you? So, what's your overall impression now of the Corona then with that?
Yeah, the overall impression of the Corona. Corona is like my least favorite Mexican cerveza.
Agreed.
I think I'll give it like an 86 still out of 100.
Just for the
Pretty
style.
good.
Yeah, this cheese I'm gonna say this is about like a 95 for me. It's pretty good. Enjoy the dill in it. I think they paired very well together. So if you are going to drink a Corona without a lime, get this Havarti. How you pronounce that anyways?
Dill Havarti.
Yeah,
Havarti.
get that. It goes nicely together. So I mean, I guess the pairing. I'll say the pairing between the two is a 92.
Nice.
That's
That's a
an
great
excellent
score.
score, man.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say, Toby. You can get out the door, might be closed.
Hear me. Well, that 92 sounded a freaking good score, man. Damn.
That's man. I just really don't like Corona.
Your barbecue baseball. What's going
I
on?
prefer Corona without a lime. You mean the lime, right? I mean, I don't know. Corona goes with lime, so. Anyways, that's for another conversation. But no, the reason that they put the lime in the Corona is it deters the flies from going onto the rim of the beer.
I didn't know that.
It just
That's
adds
why they put the lime in there.
How funny. That's crazy. I didn't know that at all. Awesome.
It's dog
Learn something new every day.
approved. Come out.
Oh. Did you give them some cheese yet or what?
Yeah, I gave them the cheese. They ate it. Toby's still waiting around.
Nice. All right.
That's awesome. Man, for what I had, both of them by themselves, the beer was awesome. Very great. It doesn't mean just because it was a limited edition that I got. I've had very limited edition shit and it tasted terrible. not great. But this was very, very good, very fruit forward, not too hoppy. Like I said, I was getting peaches, oranges, passion fruit, and it went really well with the spicy Colby Jack, the 3-pepper Colby Jack, because you got the heat and the sweet, and it just mingled very well together on the palate. The cheese was nice and creamy and rich. The beer was nice and flavorful with a heavy, full body. It just worked really well together. God damn, man! I always go knocking the home runs, man. But I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5, man. It actually worked really well together. The sweet, juicy IPA went really well with the spicy cheese. It was phenomenal. And like I said, alone, the beer was a 5 out of 5, and the cheese is a 5 out of 5. I would buy both of these, regardless or not, if I drank them together. Home run, out of the park.
Awesome. All right, man. Good job. Good job finding that, man. That's great. Cool, man. So we got some humor in the chat tonight.
Sorry, I didn't come up with that. Psycho Ducky said that. Hit the like button, and I lost it.
Yeah, great crowd in there. All right, Paul, man, what's up? How's everything with yours? What's the overall?
Yeah, I tend to give 2 scores to beers that I don't normally have a chance to drink, because up here, some of these styles are hard to come by, or they'll come out perhaps annually for a couple of days and then they're gone. So I'm not overly familiar with these Scotch ales, but what I've read about them, I think this one is probably indicative of what a Scotch ale should be. The same general color, alcohol level, and the caramel taste. For myself, since I'm more Hefeweizen, IPA, porter, stout person, and I'm getting into sours, something like this, I can appreciate this style. To me, I wouldn't get it that often, although it is very nice. So on a personal note, I would rate this maybe 7 out of 10, but I have a feeling the guys that I know that know these styles would probably rate this at least 9 out of 10. So it is, I think, a very nice representation of the style. Actually, I find the smoked cheese goes very well with it, as I said before. I find the smoke of the cheese kind of subdues some of that caramel sweetness that I'm not a huge fan of, although it is very subdued. So it isn't smack you in the face like a Festbach or something like that. So the combination of the two, I would give it 8 out of 10.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very good. That's a great score. That's the combination. Yeah, the combination.
Yeah.
That's a really good score.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
Okay, cool, man. Thank you, Paul.
Sure.
Whisky Scout, man, welcome. I didn't know you were down there.
That's all right. I was incredibly late anyway. I hadn't changed the time on my oven upstairs, and I thought it was 6.
Oh,
I was an hour behind.
Excuses.
By the time I looked on my phone and realized you guys had started. So, but I don't know how you do your layout here. Do I score the beer separate from the cheese or all together, or?
Well, how about this? Since you popped in, go ahead and taste it, do your cheese, and then give the score after, and then we'll just bump up to you.
Here's let you know what I got for beer. I got the Oscar Blues Death by Coconut, and the cheese is a Purano, which is a made in the Netherlands. It's my favorite cheese. I have it on hand because I always grate some into my omelets in the morning when I make omelets.
Nice.
So I always keep quite a bit around. And that's, like I said, it is my favorite cheese. So if I'm just giving a separate score without even trying the cheese, I'm going to tell you it's a 10 out of 10 because it's my favorite cheese. Straight up for it. But I've never had it with Death by Coconut, so I thought this might be interesting.
Yeah.
So the cheese is excellent. Death by Coconut, if we're doing a 10 scale,
yeah,
it's an 8 out of 10. It's a good, solid coconut. That's definitely almost a 9, maybe. I like coconut, though. That's why.
Yeah. Nice glass.
Actually, it goes good together. There's a saltiness to the Purano. It's a little more salty. It's not salty like you think of a brie or something like that. It's not quite that salty. But it's more saltier than cheddar, for instance.
Okay.
The salt goes good with the beer, actually. I don't know how to describe the cheese. I've never actually did this. I just know what I like.
Likewise.
That's but anyway.
So much fun.
Actually, the cheese is slightly nutty. It's a lighter flavored cheese.
Okay.
It's not heavy. I don't know. That's about all I'd have to think on that for a while. Oh yeah. It's my 50 cents at the dime store or
That
the
is cool.
second,
Wow.
yeah, the secondary stores. I always find all kinds of neat things for 50 cents or a quarter.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It is an old Falstaff glass. I got another one of the traditional style that flares upstairs too.
Yes.
I
But
got a question for you, Whiskey Scout. Are you using a green screen or is that your
Nope.
actual bottle collect? That's fucking awesome, bro. He's
Right?
gonna
just
pull it
so
up.
you know, it's not a green screen.
That's cool as shit, bro.
It's a
Yeah.
fucking 3D screen.
It is impressive.
There's a greenness behind it. But, like a lot of loss of greenness.
That's cool as hell.
It does look like a green screen, though. It's funny.
Jeremy Vincent took my picture of it.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you see Jeremy, if he's ever got it up, that one is a green screen.
Nice.
Ask him to grab a bottle.
Yeah.
I like the two together. The coconut really works well with the nutty flavor of the cheese.
Oh, sure.
Bring it up, Juggalo. Sorry.
I'm going to stick with I like the cheese just a little bit better than the beer, actually. We'll split the difference, 9 out of 10. 8 for the beer, 9 out of 10. 10 out of 10 for just the cheese. Because I tell you, if you ever make an omelet, you go get, this is buy you a square, and we can get it at the grocery store in Derby. And you just grate that it works better than cheddar.
Oh, yeah.
It just is so good.
Nice.
It's my favorite cheese.
It's saltiness, too. Saltier than cheddar, huh? It's
It's a little bit more salty than cheddar.
Okay.
It's not as intensely flavored as cheddar. It's a little more lighter, I think, than cheddar is. But there's a richness. I don't know how to describe it. There's a rich, more creamy texture to it. It's lighter but more flavorful. Cheddar's very dominant. I love cheddar. It's a very dominant. I like cheese, very dominant cheese. But I just like this one. It's almost like a Gouda. Think of a Gouda. It's a lot like Gouda cheese in a way. So
Damn, that's sad. See, I love Gouda now. Gouda's really good. That or a nice sharp cheddar, an Irish cheddar or something like that. I really like that. It's so salty and pungent.
Yep.
I love it. Well, cool, man. All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate it, Whisky Scout, man.
Thank you for adding me at such a late moment.
Yeah, anytime.
Glad you came, man.
Thank you.
Well, shoot, man. So like, let's just, I guess I'll score mine. As far as the beer goes, this is amazing. You talk about coconut, you would really like this. This is, I mean, it's very, very good. It's got the breakfast stout cocoa, coconut, and almond. It's a 9.5%. It's out of Portland, Oregon, near my hometown. But it's very delicious. It's very smooth, very nice on the mouthfeel, and the whole complexity of it is amazing. It's got so many bursts of different like flavors and coolness in it. I really like the coconut and the dark chocolates that came out of it. And as it got warmer, it did get a little more boozier. And I've noticed that with a lot of these. Like yesterday's scotch actually got, as it got warmer, that heat. If you let it run through your palate and kind of let it stick up there with your tongue, yeah, you get that heat, and it's crazy. But 5 out of 5. I mean, honestly, this is a really good breakfast stout. I've been falling in love with these breakfast stouts lately. They're just so good, so tasty. With the cheese, it was not a good pair. I'll straight up say, and that the saltiness was great, but then you get that mold, and it really just it makes it off-putting. I can't do it. That foot starts to set in, the ass of it all, the
dirty gym bag type of.
Definitely, dude. Definitely. So together, with the beer, I said 5. Together, on my scale, I'd give it probably a 2.5. 3. Let's go 3.
Wow.
But I didn't like that at all. So, but cool. Right on.
But see, there is things too, like with the age, I've noticed, because I'm in the restaurant business, things like that. Like I've opened a fresh bag of Gorgonzola cheese. Big, probably 3.5 pound bag. When you open it, off rip, smells great, tastes great. You give that thing 3-4 days,
The air is in
it
there.
starts to get funky, man.
Mhm.
Big time. It changes the whole profile of the cheese.
It's crazy. It's interesting though. I mean, the same with beer though. You know, as you age it, it's just things get different over time. Especially if you have it in your cellar in a bottle, it's bottle aging, bottle conditioning, whatever you're doing. It totally, as you all know, it ages. You know, it just tastes different. Especially like a sweeter, stronger one, all of a sudden isn't so strong and sweet after time. You know, it starts to kind of break down a little bit. And am I wrong when I say that, or does it get stronger? I have more time to eat more sugars, though, right? So it gets stronger. Would you think?
In theory, correct.
Right.
All depends, because sometimes these cask ales get better over time, up to a point, and then the oxygen kind of screws them up and they oxidize a bit. And
okay. Yeah, I always like to when I made beer, I like to bottle. I like to have a little yeast sediment in the bottom. You know, I like to have it continue to do its thing and eat off any sugars and residue that's in there. It's always been something I like to do. But I don't know. You know, I guess it's all preference. It's all style of beers and what you're making. And you want something clean and clear, like a nice lager. Then of course you're gonna do something different. Yeah. But I love brewing though. It's fun. It's fun to see how you can do so many different things with these beers. So
you know, I noticed Bumpy brought to my attention that they have a collective arts out of Wisconsin. So now I have a different collective arts here. This is my buddy just got in today. This is a Nature of Things. It's a hazy apple cider. Comes in at 6%. It's gluten free. But I was looking at where it's made. Brewed by Collective Arts out of Middlebury, Vermont.
so they're expanding something fierce.
It could be I don't know, it could be another collaboration beer. It's pretty cool. It's got the little sardine can on there.
Oh, nice. I like that. That's great.
Different. They always got crazy can art, but
I like that.
Holy crap! This looks like.
I wish I would have put more cheese.
It's nice looking. That looks almost hazy, right? I've never seen a hazy.
This is really not that hazy.
Cider. Okay.
There's stuff floating in there.
Yeah.
for sure. This looks like watered down lime Gatorade. It does. The camera does not do it justice.
Right. Juggalo, if you want to come up, you can bring it up if you like. It's up to you. This is an open. Well, it's not open, but if you have the stuff and you want to review it, let's do it. I'll throw the link up. Just keep in mind, everyone, if you don't have cheese and beer, please don't come up.
Oh man, this beer is old.
No offense.
July 10, 2019.
That sounded mean.
It's got like almost smells like it's got a vinegar quality to it.
Uh-oh.
Nice.
Could be
Vinegar.
past its prime.
Apple cider vinegar.
Berliner Weiss.
There's a lot of sediment in this thing. Anyways, I don't know.
It's
You won't
sour, like kind of a sour puckeriness going on, or what's kind of a tart? Or
It smells tart.
smells that, yeah.
Mhm.
Dude, I got some crazy ass beers today, man. Let me tell you, wow.
This is
I just
weird.
fucked up.
I can't put my finger on the flavor at all. My brain's going WTF, huh?
Right on, Ducky. Throw it up. Throw it up. Throw it up, dude, man. I'll jump on for a bit. It's been a while. Yeah, dude, let's do it. All right, just those that are please that have the stuff. Let's we'll get
Well,
jump on up here.
You got them there. If they don't have their beer and their cheese, then don't
Yep,
let them
it's
up.
all me. Sorry, you're getting kicked off if you don't have those two items.
Or you'll be hanging out in the basement.
Now
I've been
everyone's
there.
just
It's
gonna
not
come
too
up with
bad.
anything. I got cool Budweiser. I got sandwich cheese.
Did you guys see
let's do it.
Beer, Barbecue, and Baseball did the review of that Nitro Budweiser Gold?
Juggalo,
Hey, fellow.
what's up?
Juggalo.
Budweiser Gold.
What's up,
No, the
guys?
Nitro one that he was talking about.
Oh, okay. Nice. So what's going on? I haven't seen you in a while, man. How you doing?
Man, it's been crazy.
Crazy.
I've been yeah, I've been working nonstop, man.
Good. Well, that's good. I mean, I wish I could say that same for me. Lately, so.
Yeah, no, it's been crazy staying here with the in-laws and crap. And like I said, I like my new job. I'm loving it, but it's just I've been doing it a lot. It's been taken away from my YouTube time and my channel and everything, and I felt it a little bit. But it's all right there, man. I'm just doing what I can.
Well, I'm glad you're here. Good to have you
Hell
here.
yeah, man.
It's
It's
good,
really,
man. I mean,
It's definitely been a while, man. It's good to see you guys on here again.
life
Sure.
comes first, man.
Oh yeah.
YouTube is always second. This
Yep,
is a binary. You got to take care of number one
it's
and
a
your
hobby.
family.
It's a hobby. Anyway, I don't even know y'all were doing cheese and beer apparently. So, I mean, like I said, I don't really have anything planned out. But like I said, I got some Fiesta blend.
Do
It's
you mind if
like,
I make you big? Can I?
I mean, you can. I mean, it's fine.
You're on the spotlight.
All right, but yeah, I've got some Fiesta blend shredded cheese. I mean, that's something for some taco night.
It's
But
cheese.
yeah, it's like Monterey Jack, cheddar, and some kind of like queso,
So fresco.
Asta something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Nice.
yeah, I've got some of that. So yeah. It's cheese.
Yeah.
I mean, would be better on a taco than just a handful of it, but. And I've got Blue Moon.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. That's actually not a bad beer. It's not terrible. And I can handle
Oh
it.
yeah. They don't go together. They don't go together. They don't.
They don't.
They don't. They do not go together very, very well. Yeah, man. Crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, anyway, the Blue Moon by itself with the orange peel and everything, like, that's a really good beer, especially when you're outside on a cold night. It's a warming beer. I like it.
Nice.
But the cheese is made for the tacos, guys, not that. Not the Blue Moon.
Now we know.
I think it has like they
Now
put,
we
like,
know.
cumin in with the cheese blend.
Now, if we're judging for like a cheese to beer matching, I give the match like a 4. But if we're just talking about the cheese by itself, it's not bad. But the Blue Moon, I give it like a 8 because it's pretty solid.
Nice. Yeah.
To be so easily found, everywhere. It's a solid beer.
I'm okay with it. Someone gives me one of those, I'm gonna drink it.
Oh yeah.
That's good. I might even go buy it.
It's different. I was expecting a different reaction, with the orange citrusy of it and the Mexican style cheese. But like I said, some of those blended Mexican blends, like I said, they have a couple of them that I see on the shelf here, and they actually have cumin added to it. So it's like a seasoned cheese on top of just what the cheese is, and that could be a little overwhelming.
Hell yeah.
Because it's a very strong spice.
I saw realistic fishing in here a second ago. That was
Yeah.
Oh, that's if
Dude,
you guys had, yeah, that guy is awesome, man. If y'all hadn't checked out his channel, man, if you like my channel ain't crap. Like, this guy actually goes out there and like gives you like a real person's like point of view of fishing, and
Nice.
a lot of good tips, stuff like that. But yeah, man, it's good to see him on here, man. Alex, what's up, bro?
Well, thanks for being here, Realistic, man. I appreciate it. That's awesome.
Dude, this
Alex, I
beer-
caught my first bass of this year, man. First bass of 2020. Finally.
Awesome.
Just to let you know, brother.
Bro, this thing has
Freaking
got
stoked
some
about it.
huge chunks in it. It's very off-putting.
Let me see one of these chunks.
I can't.
Oh, that looks great, though. That's
Hold
nasty
on.
as fuck,
Where's
dude.
my
There's
phone?
chunks in it. Looks like a milkshake.
It does.
Yeah. It's like a sort of orange sherbet milkshake.
It's got none of that going on for it. I can assure you that.
Wow.
Damn, man. It's just fucking horrible looking on the inside. I can't do it. I can't show you guys. I really don't want to drink this shit. I kind of want to take it back to the store.
Welcome, Canjuana. Canjuana.
Pour it back in the bottle, stick a rubber stop.
Yeah.
You guys get this one back. This is not good.
I'll tell him I didn't like it, and he'll hook me up with something.
Oh, man.
He
Oh,
usually
man.
makes good on it.
I'm full, dude. My stomach is too much sushi earlier. The rice, really.
My
like
wife
granny.
made dirty rice. That's what we had for dinner.
Man, I could go for some sushi, honestly.
God, I love fish. I love fishy food.
Yeah.
What's up, Bo? How you doing? Oh, God, dude.
Watching bowl.
I'm gonna leave that one down there. Damn, John. All right.
It's rough
All
out
right.
there right now.
Yeah.
Well, we can continue to, if you want. We can keep talking. Whatever. We've been on a good hour here. I'm down with drinking. I got another beer to drink, so if you guys want to hang out and do that, we can. I'm having a good time with you guys, so let's talk about beer, man.
Yeah.
What's been your favorite beer so far this week that you've tried? Let's talk about it, man. How's that sound?
I
I don't even know that question.
Yeah, that collective arts, the blueberry sour with the cocoa nibs. Bumpy didn't get to see that. That thing was freaking awesome. I don't even want to describe
Looked
it
awesome.
because if you can find it, it was murky and definitely not what you expected, but it was phenomenal.
Okay.
Nice. It had a great color to it. I loved it. It was real grapey.
It was purple. I had never seen a purple beer of that color. If we're hanging out here, because I'm gonna pound this.
I can't even think of the beer that I like.
I guess it's good for you. I'll wake up if that's all yeast.
Pound it.
Which is kind of
The
strange.
best beer I've had this week was Evil Twins Imperial Biscotti Break.
Oh wow.
I've seen that. I never have bought it.
Scotty. Oh my god.
Yeah. Like I said too, this is a cider that my buddy talked me. He's like, I said, what do you have new? He's like, right there. Not getting any more of this.
Yeah, that's like super juicy. I record.
This is like it's like a lambic light. If I could describe it in a fashion of beer terms, that's where this is at.
The best beer I've had this week that I haven't had before would be that Claymore that we had yesterday on the Scotch Ales. That was good.
Wasn't it? It was.
I enjoyed that. The one I had before was the same one Eric did. It was good too, but I think the Claymore was better than that stout I followed it up with was not good. I would not drink that one again. It did not meet muster.
Damn. No, that was really good. The Claymore was delicious. I think, well, we started Monday, right? So this is Tuesday, obviously. We have only 2 days a week to decide what fucking beer I like best. So far, this one has been my favorite. I mean, I haven't done any more except the Claymore on this one, so and my regulars. But the Claymore was good, but this was definitely so far pretty much my favorite, I think. Strongest product.
I just got home, so I hadn't. When I'm out working, I don't drink at all. And I hadn't had nothing to drink in 7-8 days. So maybe it was just better because I hadn't had nothing to drink. But I liked it.
Good for you, man. Dude, I'm drinking every night. I need to slow down, man.
I can't on the job out there. I get fired now.
That's true.
Got to make money. Money's more important than beer.
Yeah.
I think this is my first drink in like 4 or 5 days.
Wow.
I don't drink a whole lot. It's just
it's a good thing it's expensive.
yeah.
It can be.
Yep.
Too expensive, man.
Yeah, that's how I figured out. That's why my buddy starts giving me free stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, here, have one of these. Because I'm spending an ass ton of money with them.
Yeah.
Like,
And his rent.
I'm still drinking the hell out of those cold snaps, while they're still available. But yeah, most of the time I don't buy it. But I mean, sometimes it's just kind of cliche. After a hard day of work, you want to come home to a cold beer.
Oh, sure.
Absolutely.
I have forgotten how it feels.
Yeah.
Have you been out of
sober
work
for one day?
Yeah, weird. I'm happy though. I'm kind of happy, but I'm kind of suffering. I'm not suffering. I just mentally I need to.
You're restless. I know that feeling, man.
Yeah. So, but it's been all right. I'm just getting tired of sitting on the fucking couch all day. Doing nothing.
Last.
No. I'm not a lazy guy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, dude. What's wrong with me?
Well, I'm going for the fishing manager job up there at work. So come down here. I'll give you a job.
Nice, dude. That's awesome. You're going for a management position then, or?
I'm trying for it, man. I really am. Like, our office manager left. She just finished out her 2 weeks notice, and I think our current fishing manager is going for that job. So I went ahead and put it in with the boss man. I was just like, hey, like, going for that job. Yeah, I want to be first pick. I want to be the first person. Let it known. I want that job. I want to be the first,
That's
considered
good, man.
for it.
You show an initiative.
Yeah, man. That's good.
I mean, it's the fishing department. You know what I mean?
Well, if you like what you do, then
Yeah, I would rock that
it's not
shit.
a job at that point.
Yeah, right now I'm just doing customer service, making returns and selling guns. But
Shit,
it would.
Sounds
Like,
good.
I'm still selling fishing equipment and stuff like that. I'd much rather be, instead of ringing them up and taking people's money, I'd rather be out there on the freaking floor, like telling them which bait they need to use with which rod and at what time and what kind of conditions. I want to be out there doing that stuff.
All right, so I finished the beer. I can show you the sediment.
Did it look different in the porch light?
Not too much. It's very red. Do you see that?
Whoa.
It's a lot of. It was very red, heavy sediment compared to the color of the beer.
It is a reddish color.
Different.
Yeah.
But like I said, that's a what is it? What is that?
Meow.
That's a piece of Jimmy Hoffa.
I wouldn't doubt it. It looks like it.
Like brain matter.
But it's an apple cider. Like I said, I went out of my realm and I tried it. And
now you're going to run back to your realm.
Oh, I got some Founders oatmeal stout in there. I got some of them blueberry cocoa nibs.
I forgot what I purchased now. I just went in and grabbed whatever. The lady said I could get 10% off if I got a 6-pack, so I just got a 6-pack of talls. From IPAs to I think I got a Belgian and I don't know what I got, man. Anyway, it'll be fun.
I was surfing the web today and I found another bottle shop, an actual bottle shop, not a liquor store but they had pictures of that Funky Buddha up on their what? I've been buying a lot of limited edition beers because they put out a lot of specialty. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm glad you kept that, man.
Hell yeah, I'm not throwing that away. No, man. I keep everything I get from you YouTubers, you awesome people. So thank you. Awesome, man. Dude, I'm freaking getting a buzz finally. It feels great. It feels wonderful.
I'm starting to mellow out.
Mellowing out. I think I can actually have this. I think my wife's not going to get at me.
Like I said, I pounded that quart of Modelo, and then I had that 8-1, and I was feeling pretty ripe after that. Good, drink more of that. I was like disappointed. You had this little tiny glass. That's itty bitty. How strong is that?
9.5.
Oh, that's fair to Midland.
That's just a little taster glass. I think it's got the St. Bernardus, so it's probably good for doubles or bells or quadruples and all that stuff. But
see, we can't compete with Whisky Scout. There's Whisky Scout.
It's not a competition, trust me.
Son of a gun! I want to go hang out in your man cave.
Right.
Until I get too drunk, then we have to get out of there for a break stuff.
No problem, Juggalo. Glad you were on, man.
Lay right down right there.
Yeah. Good to see you again, Juggalo, man. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, boy. Whew. Stomach, man. I swear to God, dude. I've gotten fat, dude. This past, month.
Yeah, well, we're drinking beer 4 times a week now.
Yeah.
Not for leisure time either.
Oh, man. That's all good. What you sipping on there, Whiskey? What did you put in there?
Well, let me get turned to you guys.
Blend
Oh,
brand.
nice.
Oh.
Single malt. 15.
Yep.
Nice. Blended
It's 50%. Yeah, 50% or 100 proof. So
It's 100 proof.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Pretty
It's a
strong.
good
Strengthy.
That's a very pristine looking Scotch whiskey, man. That's an awesome color to it.
some blend grants are
Clear.
better than others. This one's good. I got a 10-year-old blend grant somewhere up there. Somewhere. That's not quite as good as that one. The 15 is much better.
They're expensive products. Like my dad, he's a Chevis guy, and he's like, oh yeah, have you ever had the 25-year age Chevis? And I see it at the liquor store, and it's like $250 a bottle. I'm like, yeah, well, I bet it does taste good.
Damn.
For that kind of money. But I mean, it's a 25-year age whiskey or Scotch
Mhm.
whiskey. So
Sounds like my dad. He'd go out and buy the most expensive, awesome, and have it forever, of course.
Yeah.
Little bit at a time. His little drain glass or whatever you got going on. Here, have a little. This is how you do it. And he'll teach me how to, take it down my throat and all that shit. And I'm just like, oh my god, dude, that's strong shit. It's
My
so
dad
strong to leave it on your tongue.
quite the opposite.
No. Oh, Mr. Leahy. Oh man.
I've never. Psycho Ducky says not a competition, locks the good stuff back up. 2 years ago in the fall, I had the most expensive bottle I ever bought. It was a 30-year-old Scotch. I can't think of the name of it. Deanston, 30-year-old. I had about that much off the top. And I took the rest of the bottle with me to a meeting, and we drank it all. I shared it with everybody.
That's awesome.
It's great to drink by yourself. I mean, some ways, but it's so much more fun to share it with people. It really, for me anyway. I mean,
I was sharing mine on my birthday. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry. No, I was sharing mine on my 36th birthday, and everyone was taking shots. It was a Glenfiddich 18, and it was very tasty. From what I remember, it was very good. But I ended up with my head on the table, and I guess everyone said, we only had a little bit. You had the rest. I was all, what's going on, dude? And I woke up, and I ended up walking around. The whole plot was so messed up. I went into a bar. I kind of remember what I ordered even, and I went to the bathroom. But then after that, it was just blurred out, and I started walking around like a rambling retard, going around like, I couldn't even talk, man. I was trying to figure it out, what's going on, dude? I got really, really messed up from that.
It's like that part in Wolf of Wall Street where Leonardo DiCaprio is driving his car home after they took the loots. And he's like, oh, everything's great. And he gets home and everything's fine. And he wakes up in the morning, the car's trashed and the cops are there. Yeah,
That's every morning here.
Yeah, you wind up like that drinking this.
Oh, damn, dude. God, dude. There we go. That's even cloudy. Look at that as you shake it.
Well, no, I just shook it. That shit's like water. Those are bubbles in there.
Oh, it actually kind of bubbles up though. That's crazy. I didn't know it did that.
Well, how fast the bubbles dissipate show you how high the proof is.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
that's interesting.
Different kind of brewing.
Yeah.
Give me a nip while I'm here. Fuck it, it's down.
My friend had a still. It was really cool. It was you really see how that all dripped out. You get your first and your mids and your ends and all that, and trying to tell me what you don't want to drink.
Heads,
and all
tails,
that.
and middles.
Yeah. Yep. And you get that banana, kind of a banana flavor on one of them. I had. Might have
This
been
is banana.
Is it banana? Okay.
It's a brandy because it has no corn in it.
Okay.
Oh wow! So you got a fruit brandy.
Yeah, because for it to be moonshine, it has to be at least 51% corn and the mash.
Okay.
I think for moonshine's 100. Well, my grandfather made it for years, and all he ever used was corn. He never used nothing
Yeah.
else.
That's all they ever use on that show, or the cotton.
Well,
dude?
there's yeah, that's
sometimes they'll
too.
make different stuff, but
Oh, okay.
That's
Yeah,
true.
rye.
There are people that make it out of complete corn. I've had rye. I've had all different kinds. There's people make it out of white corn. Tastes different. There's many
Oh,
different profiles to. There's many different kinds of corn. It's just like beer. Just many different kinds of hops.
and this is made in Missouri wood hat.
The
And it's
show me
made with
state.
red, white, and blue corn. All three different kinds. It's really good too. It's very sweet. It's a lot more sweet than your average. They call it an all-American whiskey, but it's got bourbon-esque flavors, and it's just really sweet. It's even for 40%. It's just, it's very sweet.
I like the bottle. That's a cool looking
Yeah.
bottle.
They've got a couple of different ones. First time I bought it was this one, and I bought it because of the bottle. I thought the bottle was cool. So, but
Oh, yeah.
That is cool. I've seen blue corn. Red corn. I mean, if it's more of like a mahogany color, I've seen red corn, but I like the blue corn is like indigo almost. It's like very vibrant colored.
you see some bottles, but you don't see these. You don't see these.
What's the color?
And you don't see the negative balance in my checking account.
There's no abuse here. You're good to go. What does the color come from? The barrels or the malts you're using, or how does?
On what? No,
I guess beer would be the same way. You're adding a different malt to put the color into it, or whatever.
Liquor comes out clear.
Clear. That's what I. So how do they add color to it?
the
Different
coloring,
processes.
the coloring for most all bourbons and scotches in particular, that comes from the barrel, time spent in barrel. But there are some companies they can't do it with bourbon. Bourbon cannot add any coloring whatsoever to be called bourbon whiskey. But Scotch, they can add a little bit of what they call E151 caramel to it.
Caramel coloring, yeah.
It's just a little bit. It doesn't seem like it would affect. And that's a big controversy. Some people really think it matters. To me, I've had great bottles of Scotch with E151 coloring. But they do that because they like a consistent color to the product.
Yeah. So if you put out a clear bourbon, everybody'd be like, "What the hell is that? That's not bourbon. It's not barrel aged."
Well, yeah, it wouldn't be barrel. Yeah, any bourbons are good. Yeah, on bourbons you cannot color though. All the coloring in bourbons themselves, all those, that's all natural barrel color added to it.
Yeah. Because that's how it gets its color. Because it does come out. It looks like water when it comes out of the pipe.
Yes. It's all
Any liquor does.
Any liquor comes out clear. I don't care what you make. Like you could take an opaque one like Jägermeister. They make a base liquor and then they put stuff into it that gives it that kind of profile and color.
Could you mix grain after you've distilled it? Can you put grain in milled grain into it to add any kind of creaminess or texture or anything like that, or would you want to do that?
I've never heard of it.
You'd have to restrain.
And restrain, yeah.
And pray for the best because nobody wants murky liquor.
Yeah, this is true.
That's very. I mean, nobody wants to get a cloudy bottle of lightning because they weren't doing their job right.
But now here the caveat to there is something to be said though. For instance, if you have a non-barrier filtered Scotch, which means I'm talking no non-chill filter, no barrier filtering at all, like this Nadura here. When you take this Nadura and you pour it into a cold glass, turn
that's
cloudy.
good shit.
It is.
Wow.
It will turn cloudy, but it's just a temperature difference causing a lot of the molecules within it to bind and then unbind, and that process keeps it cloudiness. It will dissipate. It won't stay cloudy once it returns to room temperature, for instance. But
Yeah.
I was just
Expanding
thinking,
and contracting, yes.
good stuff.
I wonder if that would be something to do, though, to experiment with, adding flake divots or some kind of something to make it smoother on the.
Is that the one you were familiar with, or was it
Glenn? It's awesome.
Glenlivet makes a top-notch.
Glenfiddich
product.
was the one I did, but Glenlivet's awesome. The freaking
Glenfiddich too somewhere? I don't know where. I got one too. Here's
my dad would love you. Holy,
here's the oldest bottle of single malt I got.
damn.
This come out of a still got the tax stamps and all that on it. It come out of the late 70s, early 80s, and it was under a bar in the VFW in Mansfield, Louisiana. I
Wow.
got it given to me by a guy.
Man,
There should be one sticker
that's awesome.
that's gone. The sticker itself is gone. You can see just a little bit of the glue left on, but time is taking care of that. And I've never opened it. It's only lost that much, so it's.
Oh, just dissipated over time.
I bet you get you a pretty penny for that bottle.
I don't know. I'm not selling.
I know you're not going to sell it, but still.
So,
That's a 4-year aged scotch that you've had since the 70s. So,
12. It's a 12-year-old.
Oh, 12?
What's up, Shake?
Not I've had it. A good friend of mine, like I said, down in Louisiana had it. He gave it to me and out of the blue. And I was.
So it's a 62-year-old bottle.
Damn.
62.
Damn.
Well, you said from the 70s.
No, it wouldn't be 62. It'd be 79 or 80 is the closest I can get today.
Oh, okay.
So 80 minus 68. I'm 53. 51.
51 then, yeah.
It was distilled in probably 67, 68. So you're looking at probably 51 years since it came out of the still.
And it's still okay, even with the
Don't go
bottle
bad.
and everything. Yeah.
As long as it's not been left in direct sunlight, but if it had, that bottle would be even lower. Even though it's still got the stopper in it, it would still lower naturally over time.
Yeah.
And you would lose some of the flavoring. It would, but he took care of it.
So a higher alcohol beer would react the same way as far as shelf life. You can have that in the bottle for quite some time as long as there's a high, say an 18% or a 16 or even a 12. You'd obviously be able to have a bigger, longer shelf life for that.
Yeah,
For sure.
Stout wise, I guess.
That's what I heard does kill beer is even if like they said Corona and Heineken, that's a lot of people don't like it. They get a skunky experience. It's the light protrudes through the bottle much faster. Brown bottle, same thing. Yeah, I mean, nobody's going to want to leave their beer in direct sunlight or UV even in a climate controlled area.
don't leave it in the window.
Yeah, don't do that.
Man, this is cool, man. I'm glad you guys showed up, Paul and Whisky Scout.
Very glad. Thank you. Thanks for being here.
I have to ask.
Bumpy, you got something to say, man? You've been quiet over there.
No, I actually started not feeling very well, and it's not the Corona.
The cheese.
Now I know why.
No, I started getting pressure behind my eyes and a little bit of a headache.
That's so fucking far back on that one. Yeah, sorry I didn't catch on to anything you guys did right now or on the show. Corona and the mask. Okay, you got it.
That was very funny, Paul.
Actually, though, that mask, I do use that mask when I grind my grain because I have an allergy to the grain dust, and I get a sore throat, and I sneeze my head off, and I wear contacts, so my eyes are just like this. So I always wear the mask when I grind the grain. So.
What's up, big boy John?
What's up, everyone?
How you doing?
Chilling.
Good.
Now, Paul, do you mill your grain outside or do you do it inside?
In and out. Yeah.
Because it creates a lot of dust, as you know, when you're milling.
Yeah. Fair amount.
And that dust is actually flammable. So
Yeah.
careful with that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I just have to ask Whisky Scout here something. I know absolutely nothing about whiskeys, scotches, and all that stuff.
Excuse me for a minute.
The color of some of these liquors, I've heard in the past, I don't know if it's true or not for barrel aging, but didn't they at one time torch the inside of a barrel just to get the staves all tight or whatever? So perhaps it's from the charring inside the barrel. I don't know.
All right.
They don't do the inside. It's not for retention or anything of that nature. But they do char the inside of each barrel. They got 5 levels of char, from very light to what they call an alligator char.
Okay.
And the darker the char generally helps speed up some of the coloration in the process.
Oh, it does, eh?
So
Okay.
Absolutely.
your bourbons have to be in a new barrel. Bourbon cannot be called bourbon whiskey unless it's in a brand new barrel.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah.
An untoasted barrel, like a white oak or whatever you would.
No, it's toasted.
Oh.
Every barrel gets toasted. That's
on the inside, right?
That's just very common. That's industry wide, pretty much.
Okay. Yeah.
So after they empty the bourbons out, in one particular case, like the Glenlivet here, the Nadura, once they empty the bourbon barrels out, they ship them to Scotland. Scotland reassembles them. Now, sometimes they'll take it from a 53-gallon to a slightly larger, what they call a hogshead, which is a mixture of European and American barrels.
Okay.
And they'll retoast. Sometimes they retoast. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they just use them like they are. But sometimes they'll go ahead and retoast the inside of the barrel again. Mm-hmm. And in a few cases, some companies have experimented with, like Dewar's has what they call a scratched cask. They actually scratch the inside of the cask. Yeah. Then we retoast after that to help increase the surface wood available inside the barrel for maturation.
Okay.
That's right.
So, but
the more surface area it touches, the more it's going to change color, right, and temperature as well. Okay. Now this heating and cooling.
This one's darker. This one is a sherry cask matured. Abuna. And so it's European oak, generally Spanish, but some French, depending. Okay. Yeah. This one's 59.7%. This is a time bomb. It's a really knock your socks off kind of stuff. It's really good. But that's generally your bourbon casks don't quite yield the color that the sherry casks or port casks they use. Because they've got sherry and port soaked into the barrel wood along with the charring. Yeah. So when you refill the barrel, a minuscule amount of that leaches back into the whiskey over time. Okay. And
that's right. I've seen like a couple triples that they age them in like Pinot Noir barrels and things like that, wine barrels for the beer, and it changes the whole profile of the beer.
Yeah. Does the tannin coming out of the barrels add any color or taste or whatever?
That is. Wine?
Depends on the wood.
Yeah.
Or each barrel is different. They make barrels out of different kinds of wood.
They probably always. Bourbon has to be made from white oak. It cannot
white
be
oak. Okay.
Anything else. Now, there are different grades of white oak. I mean, you've got chinkapin, which is a white oak. You got different species of white oak. You can't use red oak because it's too porous and the barrels will leak. And everything's a little different. They used to use chestnut somewhat, but chestnut's just not available wood. The blight that occurred back in the 20s and the 30s destroyed most of the chestnut forests in the United States. But chestnut will work too, but you just don't see it. Extremely rare to see it.
I've seen people now they're using the rapid aging process, and I've seen like electrolysis used with porous woods, which is not a barrel aged bourbon or whiskey. They actually put the planks into the vat, and they use I don't know if that's the right word, electrolysis, which it forces it in and out of the porous woods, which you could not make a barrel out of.
Yes,
because the booze would just leak right out.
But
And it's the cutting edge. These people are experimenting and doing a lot of different stuff now. I mean, traditional is always great.
Right. You can taste the difference on the force aging. Ask Bumpy about his Tim Smith liquor.
Oh, well.
That's force staged right there.
Climax, I wasn't too impressed with it.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. I've rapid aged some of mine, and I buy char sticks, the ones that have the cuts in them, and I put them in my jars and things like that. And I put them under the light, and then I chill them out, and I put them under the light, and I chill them back out. And I've had very great experiences with that.
We did this.
Yeah. What it says on the Climax, it says Tim Smith's century-old whiskey recipe aged with toasted oak, wood imparting color and revolutionary flavors. It's made to be in a class of its own, and it definitely is, right? But it's only aged. It's only aged in oak for 24 hours.
No, that's not very long.
But look at the color of that thing.
Yeah, it does.
That's pretty dark.
It takes people years to acquire that kind of color without adding chemical agents.
Okay. That's crazy. That's scary.
But I don't know. I could be wrong.
You don't get on a four-staged product when you finally have one and try it. There's the flavor is there, but the depth of flavor and its finish and the ability of it to last and perpetuate within your palate, it's just not the same.
I can agree with that. You don't get the rich vanillas and things that actually come out of having something out of a real barrel.
Right.
I totally agree with that 100%.
Yeah. So what's your thoughts as beer drinkers? What's your thoughts on blends when it comes to blending liquor? What's your thoughts on blending different beers together to create a different new weird thing? Let's say
the cuvee.
Yeah, I mean, I like to mix stuff together. Like I just mix this with this, and it actually kind of made the IPA taste.
Sometimes it can work. I mean, I wouldn't take like an IPA and pour it into a stout, but
like I did.
Actually, wait a second. Actually, I would. I've actually done that black and tan.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That Mississippi Mud. I had some of that for the first time about 3 weeks ago. It's a porter and something else. It's a black and tan Mississippi Mud's what it's called, and it was good.
Not terrible. It's not terrible.
I was telling the beer man because I'm very standoffish when it comes to lambic beers, and my buddy got some new ones on the shelf at the bottle shop, and he says that he likes to take like an imperial chocolate porter, and he likes to mix it with the raspberry lambic. Yeah, and it works very well together. You get the chocolate raspberries, you get the tart, you get the sweet.
That does sound good. I like raspberries.
Fruit with chocolate.
I never thought of it that way, and he's like, bro, it's really good, and I haven't tried it yet.
Well,
he actually pointed out specific bottles on the shelf and said this could go with this. I just haven't had the means to do it yet.
Mm-hmm. I like the black and tan though. Like Bumpy's did that one this morning. That was free. Those are awesome. Those are
I love black and tans.
Or not black. I'm sorry, not black. Well, those are good too. But a black IPA. Sorry, black IPA. It's really good. I like those a lot. What were you saying, Whiskey? I totally interrupted you.
I I don't mean to interrupt anybody. I'm going to cut. I enjoyed your guys' company.
Oh,
Yes.
You guys are awesome. Thank you, Paul,
Thanks
for
for
coming
coming
through. Thank you,
Yeah,
Whisky
finally.
Scout.
I probably need to
Bumpy,
cut it, actually.
Beer Man.
We can go on the back end.
I love you
Right.
guys, man. I look forward to doing this every week with y'all. So,
Yeah, it's interesting.
Nice.
I'll be here when I can.
Thanks.
I have
guys
a
have
lot
a
I'll
good
try to
one.
wait about like 2 months before I pick up the same cheese you just did tonight.
No, it's a good cheese. Fuck on that.
Well, let me go ahead and close it, and then I'm gonna close out. Guys, everyone, thank you, Miscellaneous. Thank you so much. I'm gonna close this off. We can hang out in the back for a little bit if you want. But thank you so much, chat. I appreciate it. I kind of want to keep these within an hour. We kind of went over, and that's fine. But thank you so much for participating, everyone on the panel, as well as Miscellaneous there. And we got JC Adventure. How's it going, man? But we'll go ahead and cut this out. We can talk after. You can leave, do whatever you want to do. Cheers, guys. Much love. I'm out of
Cheers.
here.
Thanks
All
for
right.
having us on.
No problem.
Thank
Dude,
you.
thank you. All right.